All right, Tommy, I just wanted to start off by saying thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to chat with me a little bit about your experience with the apprenticeship program, and of course some wisdom for maybe those who are looking at joining the apprenticeship program. So thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Tommy D'Ambrosio, and I'm the chef and owner of Aioli Burgers, Modern Tortilla, and Oakwood Fire Pizza. We started off as one little food truck about 6 years ago. We've grown it into 3 concepts, 8 food trucks, 3 brick and mortar restaurants for Aioli Burger, and our newest ghost kitchen that has 8 concepts running out of it.
Tommy, when did you first hear about the apprenticeship program?
I first heard about the Greenbrier Apprenticeship program while I was at the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. There was a certified master chef exam going on. I was fortunate enough to be an apprentice for the program, and I was paired up with Chef Richard Rosendale, which at the time was the executive chef of the Greenbrier. After that, he invited me to come down and see what the Greenbrier had to offer. I was working in the city. Every week I'd go down and do a stage, and so I kind of got to see what the New York City life was like and everything that they had to offer. And I was kind of explaining that to him, and he said, just come, take a look, see what we have to offer. I promise you won't be disappointed. So I booked a flight. Actually, we drove. We drove all the way from New York down to West Virginia, stayed with some other apprentices at the time, and kind of got immersed into everything that was going on and got to see that it was true. The Greenbrier has a ton to offer. You learn everything from ice carving to buffet work to hot food, cold food, how to be tight, clean, precise, and to really push yourself. And I think that's something that I saw there that New York City didn't have. There was a lot of things that I couldn't get out of working in New York City. And there were so many distractions in New York that I kind of felt that going to West Virginia, there'd be a few less distractions and I could really excel at my craft.
After hearing all the crazy war stories of the apprenticeship program, what made you decide then to enroll in the program?
Program, when I got to see that the Greenbrier had so much to offer, and the culture and the history of the Greenbrier has just created some incredible chefs, and I wanted to be able to achieve that someday. So that's why I joined the Greenbrier.
Tommy, tell me a little bit about the interview and the stage process to get into the program.
The stage process at the Greenbrier was incredibly intense. There was so many things going on, and it was easy to get overwhelmed, but I knew that this is where I wanted to be. There were so many like-minded people there that were really trying to achieve something great in their life, and I really wanted to be a part of that.
All right, Tommy, after 3 years of the program, when you look back, what was your favorite part of the program?
My favorite part of the program was the camaraderie that we all got to share. We worked our butts off, but at the end of the day, we knew that we were on to something bigger, better, and greater, and to have that bond with a few people at the apprenticeship program really meant the world to me.
Tommy, how have you used the apprenticeship program as both a chef and an owner?
As a chef owner of my own business, I've used the apprenticeship program in a ton of different ways. Everything from recipe costing to menu utilization to creating interesting and creative things that people don't really see in my hometown in Arizona. There was so much that was going on there and so much history that I could bring all that back with me and really stand out in my hometown.
Tommy, can you tell us a little bit about your brands and what you're up to now?
I have Aioli Burgers, which has 3 food trucks, a trailer, and 3 brick and mortar restaurants. We were just fortunate enough to sign a partnership with Kroger grocery stores, and we actually have an Aioli burger inside of a Fry's location, which is their brand out in Arizona. Our food trucks have been running fairly strong, and we just signed a lease for our 2nd brick and mortar location in the heart of Phoenix. We also have Modern Tortilla, which has 2 food trucks and some taco carts. So we do a lot of private catering, we do a lot of corporate parties, birthday parties, weddings, all that good stuff. We've got about 40 employees across the organization. And we also have Oak Fire Pizza, which does true, authentic wood fire Neapolitan style pizzas. We have the wood fire ovens built into our truck, and we also have pizza trailers as well, so we can roll those into people's backyards and do a nice pool party or family get together.
Tommy, if you go back in time and give yourself some advice, what would that be?
The advice I would give myself is, of course, push yourself. That's the big motto at the Greenbrier. It's always about pushing yourself further than you thought was possible, and it is amazing how far you can actually push yourself. To not get discouraged, to know that we're all working together for the same goal, and to keep your head down, focused, listen to everyone. There's something that you can learn from every single person, especially at the Greenbrier, because they've been there for so long. There's people, the GKWs, the general kitchen workers, that you can learn immense information about at the Greenbrier. So no matter really what the title is, it's just to kind of open your ears and mind to what's going on around you and take that in.
And how do you see the apprenticeship program being relevant today?
An apprenticeship at the Greenbrier is extremely relevant today. Going to culinary school is like going to college, right? Getting your bachelor's degree. But going to an apprenticeship program is getting your master's or doctorate degree in culinary arts. There's so many more things that you learn while being a part of an apprenticeship.
Do you keep in touch with many of the apprentices?
Yes, I do keep in touch with a lot of the apprentices, even ones that graduated outside of my class. It's incredible how much of a strong brotherhood and network the apprenticeship program is. There's always something that comes up that you need to find an answer to, and to have someone that you trust and truly knows the proper way to go about something is invaluable.
You know, the program is now tasted all throughout the year, as well as for graduation. What's your thoughts on that?
I love the tasting element. It's interesting. When I first signed up for the Greenbrier, I didn't really know what show work was, and however, there's a lot of great skills that you learn when you get to do show work, like presentation and technique. I feel like when I was a part of it, that was something that was kind of lacking on my side personally, was being able to create just incredible, amazing flavors and not focusing so much on how beautiful everything looked, but to be able to focus on the taste, of course, is number one. And I love that idea. And, you know, taste first, presentation second, I think is an amazing thing.
All right, so let's talk about rotations. We all know that you moved all over the property through all the restaurants, banquets, in-room dining, anything. When you look back, what was your favorite rotation and what was maybe the most difficult one?
Rotations at the Greenbrier are incredible. That's something that you'll never get anywhere you go to work. There's a million different avenues to go down, and what I love about it is when you start off as your sophomore apprenticeship year, you're working alongside, you know, a junior apprentice or senior apprentice, and you kind of get to raise the ranks. My favorite, I guess, rotation that I was in was the butcher shop. That was some of the best times I've ever had in a kitchen. Hanging out with those guys that really know butchery at the top skill, you know, and you have fun doing it. And that was something that I just really enjoyed. I think I struggled immensely when it came to working in the catering area, in the cold food catering. There was so much going on. I mean, that is a serious kitchen that does intense numbers, and that's where I struggled, but that's where I pushed myself harder and harder, and that's where I felt that I learned the most by the end of it.
Are there any certain fundamental cooking techniques that you think of right away when you think of the Greenbrier Apprenticeship program?
When I was in culinary school, we didn't really have sous vide. That was just kind of coming out. At the Greenbrier, that was taken to a whole nother level. Chef Skelding and Rosendale really taught us a lot about it, and how to work with foie gras and some of these other items that most people don't get a chance to work with. You know, the Greenbrier was at your fingertips whenever you wanted, and you could really go in and, you know, you get in what you put into it. So, you know, I think that was the big thing that I learned while at the Greenbrier was, you know, the harder that I work, the more I'm going to get out of this program. There's so much to offer. There's so many different personalities there, so many different cooking techniques, so many different levels of chef that, you know, you could latch on to one of those things and just dig so deep and take that with you throughout your life.
Tom, you know, one of the things that I get asked often when I'm talking to culinarians about the Greenbrier is location, West Virginia. Tell me a little bit about your experience living here.
In West Virginia, at first was crazy. I've always grown up in a big city. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Then I went to New York and saw that lifestyle. So going to a place with a few thousand people was a completely crazy experience for me. But I loved it. What I really loved was going and looking for morels or chanterelles or ramps. All that is in the mountains of the Catskills there. So, you know, to be able to forage for your own food and really high quality food that is true Mother Nature untouched was an eye-opening experience for me. And there's incredible fishing there. The golf is incredible, of course, at the Greenbrier. And there's really a lot more to offer than you initially think when you move there. Thank you for having me, Chef. This is such an honor to be able to give back a little bit to the Greenbrier, which gave me immense knowledge and respect for our art.